and consequently they're slower bumpers.
Green guys, can we blow it up and look, you guys see one?
Yes, mind if I turn the lights off?
Sure. I don't think number one, pick a green,
That is number one.
Pick a green.
Pardon?
Pick a green
Number one.
that is the worst.
Slopes like this, front to back. If you hit it in the middle of the green, pins on the front, you'll put it right off if it's above.
Okay, let's look at it right now. Right now,
That's number one?
this is number one.
Okay.
I'll be better off if I was in your shoes. Yeah, it's this, right? It shows right here.
You can't even read your own drawings.
This is the green way it is today. And this
Right.
is the new green.
Got it?
We just wanted a little more room back here.
Yep.
So we moved it 10 yards forward. We still wanted some bunkers. We want to show up, we're going to keep a bunker here, at least one bunker here. We want to show everything up. So we got a bunker here, but they're mostly out of play. If you look at the green today,
That's where it is.
That's
Right-
correct.
It might be your point.
Water behind it.
That's right, it was point, the bunker's gone behind it.
That bunker on the right, we grassed it
Yeah, we don't have that.
years ago.
I just can't read it, I'm sorry. It's not, they're not clear enough. I would think this probably slopes 3 feet the way it is today.
Okay,
The green now will slope, that's like 1 foot.
perfect.
See that?
Yes.
That's 15 something, that's 16.
With some variation.
So but this will be the easier green. There's a little teeny ridge here. This part, you can see the pipe. The pipe is the way the water will go. Like that. And we're all going, so there's a little soft ridge that comes right here. So if you have a putt from here to here, you're gonna have a little up or down. You know what I mean?
I like
But if you're right in here, it's gonna be a real soft break. Same thing here, just a little soft break.
Gordy,
The harder green, this is, to me, was the easiest.
what about show two? Because two's gonna have a more dramatic effect of change. That,
Oh, yeah, but it's not unlike the green today. This is the old green.
Just shifting it front and left.
Yeah. It
With a
goes
little-
like this, and
more of a valley.
Say we wanted the Ritz, this is what's called a Ritz. In golf history, it's a famous green. It goes like this, it goes down, and it goes this. I call this a modern Ritz. You have to think about in golf course architecture, 100 years ago, how many people would be playing golf? 30, 40, 50? You probably didn't even move the pin once a week. He's got to move it every day.
Every day.
Or it gets worn out. So, but this is the fun pin position. This is low. Well, in the old days, they did like this. There was only 3 pin positions. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Great.
So that'll be fun. This is high. This is low. This is high.
I like the fact that you moved it left because that front area that moves to
I wanted to
target
get a little more room
away
here.
from the car path.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
This bunker became a little smaller. We made most of the bunkers smaller. There's the bunker today. That's the new bunker.
Perfect. Collection area on both sides. Love it.
Gordy, you can go, why don't you go to number 11, Gordy? Go to hole number 11.
Actually, before you do that, please go to 10.
Yeah.
Just keep it in sequence.
10's the opposite of 2. Yeah, it's what I call, it's a sideways reverse modern Ritz. So the Ritz is low in the middle, the reverse Ritz, low, high, low. And it's sideways. Remember, number 2 is this way. And so it's kind of similar the way it is. You can see
It looks bigger in depth.
It's got, it's
almost every green, it's 60% larger.
Right. So
Almost
the
every
depth
green
is great, but that, when you landed on the middle of that green with a wedge, it would bounce over the back of the green.
yeah, so the back of the screen,
What's that number?
So it doesn't slope from middle to back.
It's probably double the width here.
yeah, so there's a couple keynotes there. It's an average of 20 feet deep now, and I think right now it's like 50. So you're getting about 5 feet more.
Well, the pins on the right side currently are really non-existent. I mean, there's so much slope there.
So hard.
It's not a flat spot,
So basically it'll be flat here, down.
Yep.
No, up. and then flat.
Interesting.
And
It, it drains this way, it drains that way, and then drains that way.
And also,
And then we got rid of most of the back bumpers. And then we got a bunker here, quite a bit smaller than the old one. And this bunker, we combined these two.
Yeah.
Just a little note I want to make to the board and the residents, with a lot of the approach, again, was more accessibility, maybe being able to bounce the ball up to that green. A lot of our current situation with these big mounds in front, something hits and it just stops, and it affects everybody.
Chip it in the grain and.
Yeah,
dot, dot,
and the
dot.
grains, that's like the less player too, it just gets so stabby.
It should speed up play too.
Yep,
That's great.
yeah, and you'll see this is a pretty common theme throughout all the redesigns, that kind of accessibility. So not taking teeth out, but just making it more accessible. And you'll notice what he's saying, a lot of reductions in bunker sizes, a lot of thought went into bringing certain areas that were hard to get to the green, like from the cart, making those more accessible with reducing some slopes and some stuff for like some of the older handicapped people. A great example, if we were looking at 14, where it's just, you can only walk up to that green from in front. We've made some adjustments to make that accessible from the back of the green and to be able to actually walk up there. And so people are parking on that green, which is an actual problem we have.
Number 8 going out this.
Yeah, and again, this is just some of these common themes you're going to see as we go through all these holes.
So with that in mind, so all the greens had that same thought process. A lot of them slope away from the middle of the green to the back, like number 13, number 4, et cetera. That's all been
I don't
addressed.
think we have much of that.
We do currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the new ones, I don't think we did.
Well, hopefully there's none of that.
Hey,
None of
Well,
them.
maybe a little, we don't want to make it too easy.
There's a lot of them that, exactly, Phil, that we brought those back end slopes up so it holds the green now instead of that, just that harsh fall off we have. I think the only one we left was 12, and it's not as extreme as it is now, in the back right of that green.
Yeah, that one's okay.
Exactly, I think it's like the only one I can think of that we didn't actually address. But for the most part, you'll see a lot of the back end of the greens and a reduction of extreme grading of that. And again, just for that sake of
Let's show
accessibility.
5. You looking at 5?
Or 3.
So, here's the size of the old green. So we're gonna lose quite a bit of yardage here. The middle of that green there, I don't know, what, maybe 7 yards or something? 9 yards. But look at the size of that green now. We're gonna take the cart path, we're gonna move it all the way over to the rock. We're gonna make it concrete. So you got a lot more room right here. The bunker's about where it is. We're gonna get rid of this bunker. We're gonna make more of a backboard back here.
Love it.
And I thought the guys had an awesome idea. This is the tees. We're gonna build 2 artificial tees, or 1.
We want one artificial tee on the gold tee box by that tree.
We're gonna put an artificial tee here and an artificial tee here that maybe we use once a week in the winter.
Those
So that we don't
tee
wear
boxes get really
Peace
burnt out this season, and just looking to have something nice, we'll like put a flower bed or something in there, just to have a nice little artificial tee that we can go to anytime we need to.
Yep.
17 as well. 17 just
I think
gets,
we said, there might have been one on 17 too. I think the
17
only one
gets
I know-
roughed.
I know the only one we do have is a plan for 5.
I think the issue on 7T was the tee box is just too small.
Right.
It's too narrow. So if
That's
you
one of
widen
those
that,
ones we've reduced.
Yeah, we made all the
height
tees
to create-
Pancaking
to
it out.
create more
did
space.
you reroute the cart path to the right of that 17?
we talked about it at one
And
time.
moving
I don't
the
think we
tee
did.
closer to the water.
We did something.
I know we discussed that, just here we discussed that.
We didn't move that to the right. We just took out that bunker, the big bunkers that be gone, if you hit it left, you're gonna go in the water now.
Here's 17's tee box, this one is here on the right.
Yeah.
Right, kept it, yeah.
Here's the existing green. Look how narrow it is right there.
That's 7, or 17?
This is 17, yeah.
I think this is 50% bigger.
The big note there is this, that whole reduction.
65% bigger.
That's going all the way up.
Say that again. Tom.
That
Well, the bunker
on
goes from
17.
here all the way back to
Most
the
of that
ladies' tee. We're just gonna put a bunker right
And
there.
just have one small bunker in the side there.
So in the degree from left to right of the slope, I assume you reduce that severity?
I think now, it all goes this way now.
Okay.
There's just a soft little teeny ridge right through there. That breaks it into.
Bigger is better.
16 has a definite change on it as well.
Is it 16?
16, yeah, 16.
Oh, that's the biggest change except for.
16.
16 green?
16 green, yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest change. So the green right now is like this, really skinny. Wow. This, I call it a heart shape. It's like a heart. And it'll have a low terrace that the brakes will go this way, and then it'll have a high terrace that go like this. So this will be about 6 inches higher than this. And then the 4 bumpers will become 1.
But
Yeah, the keynote there is this particular green is going to be 60% larger, but 20 feet shallower, 50 feet wider.
and we'll put the roll point standard tree back.
We're planting 6 more trees on that.
Take that one down while you're out there, take that right. And not for me, I'm just talking about in general.
The bunker?
The one on the right side of the whole, the roll point standard tree.
The one that-
Yeah, so we talked about that too. We don't want a bunker and a tree in the same spot.
So take the tree.
Yeah, I think
You're gonna kill the golfers, I'm telling you.
2 of the things I think we did, let's show them 8, and then let's all show them 11.
What are we going to?
8. So one of the things we're gonna do on 8, we're gonna get rid of the steps. We're gonna raise this cart path about a foot, so that you have a gentler walk here. And you can see the green moves about 10 feet this way. So this will be a nice chippy area now. Other than that, the green's pretty similar.
That's got a pretty, currently.
It's actually a little narrow, but it's a little deeper.
So you see up here in the front, this is a big note for the removing organic material and replacing it with that mix, again, just to make something actually be able to roll up that thing.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on every green.
So you're firming up the approaches, is that what you're saying? How do
So
you
we're
do
gonna
that?
we gotta remember, we got a lot of sand here, we got a lot of sand here, we're gonna have, so that'll come up here.
It's removing organic material and replacing it with sand,
Okay.
essentially.
Like that?
And show them 11. I know. One more. Rotate this way up. Yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna raise this about a foot, so it's an easier walk up here. We lowered the green. We lowered the green a little bit. I have a hard time reading, maybe 6 inches or a foot. And we also made more of a landing area here on the left. It's still gonna be steep fall off back here. We're not gonna touch that. Back where the cypress are and stuff.
And the cart path going up the right side.
Yeah, the whole will be cart path down the right.
Ah, interesting setup.
And then no bumpers.
No bumpers.
Got rid of this bumper.
No bunkers on the hole, on that green? Okay.
11.
It's a hard hole.
So there wouldn't be any bunkers at all?
Yes, it is.
Moving it closer to the tee will be helpful too, so.
Yeah, we talked about, with John too, on that back left, that part where it kind of slopes down to the water to keep it deep. Maybe that's something we might shape a little bit, so it rolls all the way down to the bottom of that. We had that kind of idea of one other one where we removed the tubes of the bunker, but like kind of added a collection pit for, you know, that maybe we'll like.
I think it's back at 13.
Yeah, like a grass bunker.
Yeah, why don't we show 13?
Well, the higher handicappers typically don't go over greens, so that won't affect them, so that's
We've probably done 10 plants on 13.
100% right about that.
Yeah, this one's still a little.
A little bit about that.
We actually have up to 4 Zs, but I think this is the one we like the best. Of course, this removes the 15 cypress here, it removes the oak tree here, we get rid of the back bunker, we move the green back. Green right now is like this. We move the green back, maybe 30 feet. And the bunkering would be pretty similar to the way it is today, a bunker here, a bunker here, and a bunker there.
Yeah, I like the way those bunkers frame that hole as is, John, with the redesign you did. So
Yeah, we're
keep that aesthetic.
And this is a low front terrace and a high back terrace.
Yeah.
All right,
I
looks
remember
good.
there was some discussion a little bit about the trees back there. This, just a couple of notes we had in there. This is one of John's biggest issues when it comes to sunlight, airflow, and then drainage. And that's where you're seeing that, in this plan, where those trees are kind of being removed, getting that some space to breathe, get some light. Especially like you said, John, like the morning times when it's coming in, it just gets nothing.
Yeah, it's about 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
We wanted about 8, 9 o'clock, early as
So,
possible.
Right now, if you were to go on the golf course, you look at hole 13, it's already suffocated.
All right.
Does anybody have any other special requests they want to see, any specific holes or anything like that? We do have all 18 holes. We also have, I think, a plan for the driving area, the chipping green area.
Can you give them us a review of what we're doing for 18T and eliminating
Yeah,
retaining?
that's exactly what they're figuring out. So we've estimated it's going to be $500,000 to $700,000 to redo the walls. So why do we have to have walls? You don't hardly see them. So I came up with an idea to cut those T's way down. Did we give you one?
That's here on the right, isn't it?
It's here on the right. I'm just trying to center it for you. It's about the best I can do right here.
No, that is. Don't we have one section that shows what it's like?
Oh,
There it is. There it is. So this is 18T. So today, the wall is right here. But what would happen now, this would be a slope, 4-to-1 slope like this. We'll move the T. We gotta redo the cart path. We're gonna move the T over this way.
Yep. And lower, you said.
It comes down about
Those tee boxes get rough too
about 3 feet.
They do.
in season.
I think it'll get passed, Mark. I mean, we gain water storage, that's what water made. That's what they care about.
Yes.
Are we gonna flood houses? No, we're gonna actually gain some storage here because right now it's a straight wall, there's no storage. We're gonna do it like that. So we'll get some storage up against the cart path.
And those boxes won't, sorry, Chris.
No, sorry. go
Those
ahead.
boxes won't shrink, right? Because
They're bigger.
Phil had mentioned continuous T-box on a lot of holes or all the holes.
A lot of holes.
Okay. And this would be one of them, I assume, 18.
It's pretty close. You see there's a little separation.
So that is a final rendering. Okay.
So completely get rid of the wall?
Yeah.
And just slope it?
Yes. What about the one at the 18T on the, or excuse me, 10T?
TNT.
Same kind of deal?
Yeah, I think we actually were kind of discussing that towards the end of the last meeting where,
I didn't send you a drawing. I've got a drawing.
yeah, I knew there's definitely something.
So we get rid
There's a
of,
section, if you want to look at a section of it, what it looks like. So today,
This is still 18.
this is exaggerated 10-to-1, so you can really see it. Can you go down a little bit more?
Down here?
No,
Chuck, we won't have any issues with the LDO or anything with that? Get rid of that wall?
We'll have to have Mark and his team take a look at that, if we have any impacts on it.
So currently, what is that top right height?
So this is the way the T is today.
Yeah.
This is the property line.
Right.
And the T stays like this. And there's the cart path. There's the wall. So now we're gonna go like this. We'll have a little rock wall. There's the cart path. There's the T. One of our big problems is, what do we do with all this dirt? We're gonna have some mounds somewhere. It's a lot of dirt.
Raise up the 18 fairway.
Yeah,
where the lake is.
push it right into the lake where you.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, maybe raising some of the fairway to foot. am I showing, Tim?
And guys, we have a lot of exposed lake banks with pipe, where the irrigation pipe, there used to be 3 feet beyond. You can burn a lot of that
We
material.
could use this material for.
A lot of it on lake banks.
Well, beyond that, as we try to restore those lake banks, because they look bad everywhere, using this fill, is there a way to sod on top of that to help with that?
The problem is the sod dies, as the lake comes up in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other golf courses that the water just goes right into the sod. It looks beautiful, I'm telling you, it does. Taos Park.
You mean Taos Park, you know Taos Park?
I understand. They have
All those lakes are lined. They control their lake, we can't control it here.
Right, that's why I'm asking the question. So, I don't know what's under the water, I just can tell you what I see above the water.
Talk to Mark. I don't think he can do much except some littoral plantings or riprap.
Well, I guess my point is
well,
there
we-
needs to be some solution because it looks really bad.
A lot of those places, we put grass, and of course, the grass dies. We did littoral plantings, but then we had to get the grass carp that ate the littoral plantings, so.
I know, it's
like-
just, and it's tough.
Yeah.
I think we need to consider some sort of, what, Mark, you interjecting here?
Yeah, I can show you something, send out to Chuck and he can distribute. I got a little Ford picture where they're doing either number 4 stone or a 6-inch shell. It's a little bit more costly than the Laurels, but it's another option for this lake bank restoration on these lakes where you get that severe water drop.
You might want to experiment on these two. We're tearing them up. Might be a good time to do an
I
experiment.
thought we had maxed out our stone, the stone walls we could use or whatever.
Lee County does not consider this hardening of the shoreline. It's been permitted in other locations.
So you put it on the slope.
You put it on the slope below the control elevation, below your sod line, to dress that up so you're not seeing that bare.
You're talking about 18 specifically.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the rest of the lake banks.
Yeah.
I'll forward that to Chuck.
Yeah, we've got exposed, the black, whatever that.
The GO2.
Yeah.
When the water's low, you can, it just looks really bad.
It's ugly. It really is.
Trying to be as gentle as I can.
This one's a little more extreme than 18. There's the wall the way it is today. So the tee moves, you see, that's the existing tee. The new tee, you can see it's that much bigger. And the cart path gets lowered.
So you're lowering all that as well
Lowering all
to
that.
make a gradual
I'm
slope?
gonna show that section, see it over there. Maybe a different sheet. There it is, sideways. So you can see the big extreme difference. This is 1 foot, so 1, 2, 3, comes down about 4 feet. Here's the existing wall, the existing riprap. There's a little bit of a waste bunker here. So the new one will be like this, with a rock wall here, and then look how much the cart path comes down.
It's almost going to feel like a plane uphill after we've been playing.
Compared to the way it used to be. But it saves us replacing this, which is close.
Great.
Yeah, that's good.
Any, this is where we talked about the main golf course, anything outside like the chipping area, putting green?
Well,
part of the
we've got a
scope?
final design. I think we'll get those treed. Don't you think, Mark, we'll get the tree? We're just gonna have to mitigate.
You're right.
So we've got several big oaks right here. We'd like to get rid of those. We'd like to take the fence. The fence right now is right here. We want to move the fence about 15 or 20 feet. There's parking right there, so we don't affect parking. Just give us some more chipping area. Move the bunker a little bit this way. And then you can see how much bigger the green would get. And then we'd also have this chipping area, and then this would be an awesome nursery green. We thought we'd get rid of these tees. Number 10. And make that nursery green.
So you're just talking about a green to use for patching, et cetera. So if we had to use that, we could use it as a tee if we wanted to.
You can use it as a tee. You could.
Well, the kosher does.
But it'd be green material.
Yeah,
and you could
if we had a big tournament or something.
Yeah, great
Still,
idea.
we still play it off.
Great idea.
So I think we'll go ahead and draw this up. I don't see a big problem with that. It's still
So
going to be.
one thing I want to say on this one is, I want that fence removed. I don't see there.
Completely?
You don't even want a
I don't
fence.
see there being a point for the fence there when it's so accessible to the golf course. Anyways, all that fence does is just limits people's parking. Nobody parks at the back of the lot in practice. It'll spread out the parking, get better use of parking. And people can just walk up and do right what they want to do. There's just no point for that fence. All it does is just limit the space we have and what we can use and how beat up that facility gets.
I can maybe see that along the water line.
Maybe
I'd
put it
like
on
to
the catch
see.
balls or something.
Yeah, I'd like to see some calusia or something
Yeah.
around the parking lot to kind of present some sort of order there. But
I don't mind that.
the fence is an eyesore and it's purposeless.
Yeah,
So I agree.
exactly how I feel about it as well.
I agree with you.
This is basically accessing the driving range and the chipping area from the parking lot, the
From the
east side.
parking
Yeah.
I mean, it's all self-service anyway.
Yeah.
In public. So,
Exactly. I just don't, I think there'd be no point to that other than.
what about the big oak tree there, Gordy? I mean, if you're gonna expand that green, you can't have a tree.
You gotta
above
get
it.
rid of all these trees.
Yeah. What do we do with that as far as, do we have to replace?
We have to mitigate it somewhat.
Yeah.
That, one of my things was like, if it's already kind of padded out, maybe build a pad, put some more seating, something like that, a trash receptacle, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's gonna open that up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll probably lower that whole area too,
Yeah, yep.
We're dropping 5 feet in that whole area. That's a lot of fill in the jump. Yeah, you got a lot to work with, don't you? Good.
Hey, like you said, that was part of, we have a lot of these areas we're looking to put that kind of stuff down, so we can use that up.
Just from the greens alone, the amount of mix that's gonna come out of them when we go to redo them, the old mix. A lot of material. But if there's
What
anything,
you wanna talk about?
if there's anything you wanna see elevated, now's the time that it's gonna be easy to elevate anything, with all the material we have. Or, fix some, lake banks, like I said, add some material.
I guess 7T was my biggest concern. That's the one I suggested a couple of years ago to put an AstroTurf tee box there because it's never grass. So
Which one is that?
7T,
Seven,
part three.
number T.
That thing needs to just be bigger. Right now it's a saddle,
But how do you get it bigger with cart path there?
flat,
I
and
don't
you
think I
gotta.
sent any tees. I can send you all the tees.
Yeah, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
That
take that,
tee is
take that
always-
shrub out, shrub right there, flatten it
I've
out.
been looking out for you, Phil.
Yeah.
I sense a few carrier pigeons in it, so just so you know.
There's that, and actually, to be honest with you, there's enough room there.
You didn't see the carrier pigeons?
There's enough room there on 7th for that white tee to be much bigger, user-friendly,
There is a lot of space there.
That was a pretty big change too. And I think you'll like it.
Which one?
14.
Yeah, 14T is always an issue, especially with the grass.
Here's the existing green. So we moved it up. I bet we lost 10 yards on that.
That's
If
okay.
you go from here to here. And we got rid of that bunker so it's easier to walk up. We moved the cart path a little bit. And actually the bunker gets bigger. This is one of the few bunkers that get bigger, just to catch balls. Green, you can see how the piping goes. That's the way the balls will break.
And there again, you'll have that grading in the front to be able to fence up.
Yeah,
It's always wet
Yeah,
now.
that's a big note right there as well.
If you go to irrigation, when we change this to here, we've changed all these heads, and we have to change, there's probably 2 or 3 heads here we gotta move back. So, no matter what we do, we have to redo that.
Yeah, the surrounds all have to be, we're gonna update the USGA green, but gotta do the surrounds for sure.
This might be a key, so you can look at, this is probably, this is 14. This is the tee today. See how wide it is? Maybe 15, 20 feet? Now it's gonna be 30. I'm sure we did the same thing on 7.
Love it.
And a lot of them, Gordy, are currently
Mounting.
like this.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You gonna laser level these?
Yeah.
The level out there, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, that mounting happens as the mix goes on, everybody just goes up with and then as they mow on the edges.
It's actually good, means he's doing his job. Because we see him sometimes, they go like this,
Other way?
and then
That's
that
not
means the
good.
superintendent's not doing his
Yeah,
job.
that's not good. And that back tee currently, we're eliminating that completely.
Completely get rid of the back teeth.
I would say,
Another nursery, or do we even need it all?
No.
So notice sprig into something or bury or place to bury something.
I would guess we eliminated about 9 back tees.
Yeah, we did.
But they'll be there, like you said, if you want to have the big time tournament.
Like number 9.
Yeah,
But I
still
feel really
on that back thing, like this one, I like that it's there. We talked about, like, it's not something we have to maintain every day, but hey, if I'm going to a big junior event or something, like, we have the option to do a quick mow down, presentable. Again, just to reiterate, a lot of the design and that philosophy that went into this was accessibility, keeping the structure and the challenge intact for the golf course, but just making it more modern, making it more accessible, making the pace of play go faster. More pin positions, less maintenance on bunkers. As being a part of the community, and Chris said it earlier too, the committee's done a terrific job in keeping the goals in mind and understanding, trying to save costs in the long term, and we provide it to every single design that we've got.
Last question. We have a lot of grass out there, obviously. Are we doing any natural areas, like number 1, for example, all you see is green grass all the way to the green?
I know you want a lot of waste buckers, but it's expensive.
Well, that's not my expertise to know the cost. I just want something visually different.
I thought if there's a way we could do it naturally, I don't know if the sand's good or not. I think we'd all get stuck in our cars, wouldn't we?
One thing I could add to that, maybe on 1 and 18, we played at a course and it was unbelievable, the drive up. They did like a cart strip for mowing and that would break it up perfectly and that's natural. So it's a mowing technique.
Yeah.
Everybody just drives straight up there, you have rough on that side, nobody's really gonna be in there anyway because they're driving past it. But visually, it looks amazing.
Sounds interesting.
We can maybe do that in 20 years. The other stuff.
Do any of the residents have any questions about anything related to golf design?
When is this going to start? April of 27?
If everything were to be on schedule, we would hope, probably breaking ground like April, May of 2027.
April 1st.
April 3rd.
Don't say May.
April 1st, love that.
How long will it cost now?
We would be back up and running by December.
That's what we hope for. Yep.
It's all weather contingent.
Yeah.
As far as plus or minus a month or whatever, right?
And your new, with that being said, your new greens are gonna be hard as a rock for the first 2 years. I mean, as a rock.
And part of this process too, anything that's getting done to the driving range is going to get done first, so the driving ranges remain open throughout that entire year closure. Do you have any more questions from board members?
I think it's just important when you come back for approval of price, it's like having a list of like, what are the priorities? And it sounds like irrigation is maybe top of the list, but like, if we break this down, and I know there's interdependencies, like you redo the greens and you're gonna have all this fill. Now that fill needs to go somewhere. So it's like, help us chunk this down so that if that $7 million is too much, like, where can we defer, push out, or otherwise? You know, that would be the only thing that I would say.
Well, from my perspective, the number one concern are the greens. So those have to be done. The fairways are in good shape. Tee boxes, I mean, none of that has to be done. But the greens have to be done.
And then we've got a ton of.
So if it's going to be shut down, we might as well do the whole thing.
We have constraints. We have financial constraints.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you appreciate that, and I appreciate that I recognize that, I should say.
John, do you anticipate an excess, Phil, from this job?
No.
So we're going to reuse a lot of it to shore up lakes?
There's plenty of spots we can.
Use that?
Yes.
Good.
I mean, just like, think of areas like behind 4 Green, you could just elevate that a little bit over there, you know. There's, in between 11 and 12, you could probably add, you know, enough material in there to make that to where you could almost drive through it and elevate it where it wouldn't hold as much water during the wet time, you know, stuff like that. I was thinking about that when I was, you know, driving by there the other day, because it was just getting dry, and I'm like, oh, we could probably get here, start weed whacking, and then we got this rain last night. Now it's sits full of water.
Even though we needed it though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Catch 22.
For sure. But there's, and the lake banks, I mean, there's so much exposed pipe, like along 14, you know, a lot of exposed pipe, you know, reclaim a lot of that, protect a lot of that.
Gordy, Dave, thanks for educating us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Thank you, Gordy. I'll see you guys on the 6th. All right. God willing. My place. Yes, sir.
Think irrigation.
If it were the 5th, I might make it, but not the 6th. Well, maybe.
I don't think you need that.
Sure.
But you can start on the head layout.
Yeah.